Why did you start your businesses in Charlotte and not in Pittsburgh, where you're from?
I mean, the activities that I was participating in Pittsburgh would have probably got me federally investigated sooner than what I was. and therefore, I needed to change the scenery.
What did you know about Charlotte?
I didn't. Pure God engineering.
You just picked?
I mean, the stories is crazy. I was in jail at the time, and I went in the library and grabbed the Wall Street Journal and was just reading the Wall Street Journal. And one of the blurbs said, the success rate of Black businesses was like super high in Charlotte, North Carolina. I wrote it down on my notebook.
I heard that you wrote a business plan in jail with a typewriter.
Yeah.
What was on the business plan?
Flavor Factory business plan. I still got it. It's hanging in my office. Yeah.
What did it say?
It was less of a business plan and more of a marketing plan.
Mm.
Like I literally wrote that plan and I wrote out what I believe was the next 5 years of my life after I walked out of jail.
And how old were you when you got into jail?
I think 21.
And how old were you when you got out?
About to turn 24.
You had a vision for what would become Flavor Factory, which was the first retail venture you had, right?
Yeah.
Why retail?
When I would go to the mall to go shopping, it was the one place, it was a super safe space. So I could sit there and don't have to worry about none of the rah-rah. And I could just watch. And I'm like, it was the only place where I'm coming in spending thousands of dollars at a time, but I'm watching every neighborhood superhero from every neighborhood at the time come in and do the same thing. And I asked myself, damn, if we spending this much money here, I'll sat to the end of the day one day, what they make, what y'all make. It's like, I made $30,000. Damn, you made $30,000 and you ain't break the law.
So you started from shopping from a consumer perspective.
At Maniére, Century 3 Mall, and a dude named Jewel. I used to sit there and watch and watch and watch. And the energy was good and it was something I knew I could do. And I loved getting dressed at the time. There's also the fact that how that place was a connector for neighborhoods. People who otherwise I would have needed to beef with immediately, we might have been able to stay in the same place for more than 15 minutes and not be an altercation, and you can figure out more about that person than you could in those 15 minutes versus if you seen them, outside in the free world, then it's on sites.
When did you start thinking about culture?
Once the U-Haul truck crossed the state line and it said, "Welcome to North Carolina."
Oh, immediately.
Yeah, I started seeing culture in that moment because very quickly I thought the space was going to be what was happening at the time. You walk into a Louis store, you walk into a Prada store, you walk into a Gucci store. Those things, those brands, they've always been what they've been. So you knew what the North Star. I always knew what the North Star was. I always knew what was happening where we was from. What I couldn't solve for standing in Pittsburgh was everything in between. The moment I got to North Carolina, I started to be able to think and see everything in between.
And what kind of products were you carrying at Flavor Factory in the beginning?
At that time, it was 10 Deep, which is actually still around. I think Schmack, I remember. Oh, LRG, Evisu.
Yep.
Nike, but Nike was carrying us at that time. So we had super whack Nike.
You didn't have what do they call Count Zero or something?
Tier Zero.
Tier Zero.
Tier Zero existed back then. Those were the main names. And then we began to evolve more deeply into streetwear and denim, and then some into menswear. And that's where I started to get lost in I got off of federal probation in 2007, and the first thing I did was go to Tokyo. And then once I got to Tokyo, I was like, okay. All this shit makes sense now. Yeah. Everything's so pure. It's just doing one thing the right way. You get to see a place that just sells one jean, one wash, one way, and that's all they do. Their goal is to sell 5 jeans a day, no more, no less. And it was this is about the integrity of a brand, right? In Block Talk, the best bag wins, right? So instead of trying to just have a whole bunch of BS, you rather have less of something that's really good.
Right.
And eventually that really good will get you a lot more. Look at Air Mads today.
So you go back to Charlotte after Tokyo, then what? When does the onset of the other companies come into play?
I mean, at that moment,
yeah,
it actually shifted the most around 2007, 2008, when the recession started to hit because the business slowed down so much that I had to make a choice. And the choice was buy more of someone else's brand or build your own. And that's when went back to Japan, ordered some jeans, flew to Guangzhou, and made a couple thousand pairs of social status jeans. And in that moment, everything shifted. That's how social status was born.
What kind of stuff do you do now then? because you do have a lot of young people's attention and coming through your stores. Like, do you give advice to people? Do you do?
Yeah, I'm willing to do whatever I can to help people that's from where I'm from evolve. Like, there's a part of our business that's purpose, right? Be social, hand wash cold, APBU, Atelier. That's all to do that work. That's all pay back in. The rest, the other side of the business is the business side where we're transacting. But the purpose part is more important because if we don't put back in, why are we taking out? Like, I don't see the rest of the world. Like the shit's corny to me. I'm going to fashion week next week. The shit's kind of corny.
Where in New York?
In Paris.
Okay.
Like, it's people lining up, and it's almost like pretend culture. Like, I'm from a block. That's real culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm from somewhere. Like, that means something to somebody. Like, people died about that. So it's different than like the shit that's for play. Maybe that's why I'm so serious in a world that ain't that serious. And I'm choosing to try to solve it through a business.
Who's the demographic of all of your businesses?
100% of our customers aren't Black, but who we're speaking to is the world and Black culture. And who we end up serving is Black culture and everyone who wants to participate in it.